What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS3 Raw TV. I have to go back and make these videos that are beginners videos because obviously there's some people that don't understand some of the stuff that I talk about, and they start to, I don't want to say argue back or try to prove their point, and I sit there and I'm like, fuck, they really don't understand. So I need to address things so that people understand. I made a comment in my vlog, something new, or trying something new, whatever the fuck I named it, where I was training in the gym talking about isolating muscles and how you cannot, I didn't say you couldn't isolate a muscle. What I said was you can't isolate a muscle and make that muscle grow by itself. The body grows as a unit. And there was only one person that popped up, and I thought if one person needs to know this, then that's enough. One person is enough. Okay, let's back up. Even if you were to do an isolation curl for your bicep, you grab a cable up here and you're going to isolate that bicep and squeeze like this. For me to even keep my arm up here, my front delt is completely contracted, my side delt is contracted, my trap is contracted. As I squeeze like this, my upper pec contracts. Now the bottom pec, I wouldn't say it's relaxed, but it's not fully contracted. But as I start to pull the weight towards me, this contracts. Your core contracts. Your lats are contracted to keep your arm up there and keep it stable. Everything contracts to keep your head stable. Now, is it a contracting against a weight? No. It's isometric contraction. Now, is it the same? But no, but it is stimulus to the muscle. When you use those electro-stim pads to stimulate the muscle, it's not the same thing as actually moving a weight. It doesn't have the same type of effect, but it still stimulates the muscle enough to get it to recover, which means it is still stimulating the muscle. Now, people that do yoga, there are no reps. They actually get into the pose and then they hold it. It's an isometric contraction, and it makes you a lot fucking stronger. Matter of fact, most people that do yoga, functionality are a lot stronger than bodybuilders who are trying to isolate their muscles because of the contractions. Now, they don't grow like a bodybuilder because literally they don't eat like bodybuilders. They're not trying to increase muscle mass, but they're trying to increase their strength, their static strength, their isometric strength, which it does increase. Now, many people will point to the squat as being the king of all exercises that get your full body to grow. Shrugs, which do get your traps to grow, but shrugs, barbell rows, squats, deadlifts, chin-ups, all of these exercises, every muscle in your fucking body is contracted, and some muscles actually being used on the negative to support the muscle that you're working. Like they're actually contracting against the muscle on the negative. When you do a bench press, as you push up on the way down, your lats actually contract and expand on the way down to support the weight. That's why so many of the people that train with me, when they first get the program, they go, there's not a whole lot of volume. And I'm like, you don't understand. These muscles are being worked. Every single workout, every muscle is being worked. When you do a squat, every muscle in your body is contracted. Literally every muscle moves that weight. Now your legs move the weight, and it's known as like a leg movement, but if you really want to think about it, isolating your legs is leg extensions and leg curls. Those are isolating them. So why don't those build muscle better? Why can't you just do tons of leg extensions and make your legs grow beyond what they are? Why can't you say, okay, I'm going to get bigger quads. I'm just going to do leg extensions. I'm going to do tons of leg extensions and massive volume and increase the weight and progressive resistance and fucking drop sets and all this bullshit and make your legs fucking catch up. It doesn't work. I've tried it. Many people have tried it. Fucking nobody does leg extensions that you have to squat. Why? It takes that type of stimulus. But your legs are not going to fucking suddenly blow up, and you're not going to get bigger fucking shoulders and traps from squats. I remember there was someone talking about Dorian Yates when they saw him get on a plane, and he said he had a very rugged physique. Okay, that rugged physique is from doing those main exercises. And why do you think the 3 big exercises or the main basic exercises, we'll take powerlifting out, but the main basic exercises like the bench press, or let's take the bench press out of it because it is more of an isolation. You're not really getting any of your legs or anything in there, but dips, we'll go dips, chin-ups. When you pull yourself up on a chin-up, whether it's underhand, overhand, your whole body is contracted. If you release any of those fucking muscles and let them relax, you're not going to be able to pull yourself up. That's why I didn't ever train abs when I was squatting. My abs are contracted fucking holding 400 pounds on my back. There's no fucking way that I could do any crunch in the world, get those abs to fucking develop any better than 400 pounds on my back being braced. When you're doing chin-ups, even when you're doing curls. When you're doing curls, you guys don't even understand. As you're starting to curl that weight up, everything is contracted. Your chest is contracted. Your lats have to contract to actually brace your arms to keep them down by your sides while you're fucking training them. Like, it blows my mind. Even a concentration curl, as you lean over to do a concentration curl, you're still contracting your body. If you relax those, you're going to get injured or you won't be able to move the weight. So I step back and I'm like, you guys really think you can do a concentration curl? It's going to make just your biceps grow? Why do people have such weak arms then? So many people have weak arms. So why don't they just do tons of concentration curls? Why don't they get on a cable fucking curl and do these fucking cable curls like this that, are supposed to be isolating to it? No, that's not the way it works. And it took a long time for me to figure that out. And I did the splits. I did the splits like the isolation splits, and you're doing these isolation movements like you're doing the fucking the leg extensions, which I still do to this day because I do believe that they have their place. But I also know that as you're doing a leg extension, if you've ever noticed, but your glutes and your hips are flexed at the same time. Okay, as you're pulling your legs up, think about feeling your calves. Your calves are contracted, your core is contracted, and you're probably holding yourself in the seat so that you don't come up. And your arms and chest and back and stuff are contracted. You are actually getting a full fucking workout by doing a leg extension. Now, it's not to the same degree where it doesn't put the same amount of stress as your squats and stuff like that, but the leg press doesn't put the same amount of stress either. Your body has to brace your head. As it braces your head, or stabilizes your head, I should say, moving through space, that is when the biggest growth hormone response takes place. So a lot of it has to do with hormonal manipulation through training, as well as how the central nervous system fires to move your body through space, or neuromuscular activation. These are the things that are included in my programs that make those programs work a lot better than a lot of other things out there. That when people come to me, they're like, well, your guys and girls get results so fast. Well, there's such little volume. How the fuck is that possible? Because most people don't, most trainers, most coaches don't understand when you're working your back, you're not just working your back. When you're working your chest, you're not just working your chest. When you're working your arms, you're not just working your arms. Even when you're working your calves, you do a standing calf raise. What the fuck do you think is being worked? You think you're isolating your calves? No, your fucking whole body is bracing with that. And that's an easy movement to get a lot of weight on. You could put 700-800 pounds on that fucking machine and be able to move that up and down to your calves while your body's bracing that. Same thing with shrugs. People always comment on my traps. I shrugged very heavy when I was younger, but that also gave me that kind of rugged look into my shoulders, traps, my upper chest. Everything got thicker when I was doing those shrugs. It was a movement that I could handle a lot of weight on. But also I noticed that everything contracted. And what was interesting was I used to do the shrugs with the overhand, underhand grip. One hand over, one hand under. One lat would pull more on one side. Like you could feel the lat pulling, while I was doing the shrugs rather than the trap. I'm like, why the fuck is my lat pulling more? Because I had one arm turned over like this. It actually pulled the lat in a weird position. And I was actually feeling the lat. That was when I started going, wait a minute, I'm feeling other muscles pulling, even though I'm supposed to be training my traps, and it's like a trap isolation where the traps move up and down. I'm still getting stimulation to my lats because I can feel it. What the fuck is going on here? Barbell rows, same thing. You're bent over for a barbell row, everything is fucking contracted in your body. Matter of fact, when you're done with a set of barbell rows, you're breathing like you did a set of squats. So, I don't know where these people that chime in get their information, what they think. I don't know. But if you look through the actual science of it, they'll show you that muscles can be activated when they use muscle meets magnet. That muscle will be activated, but they didn't fucking put anything all over the whole body. They put it on that muscle specifically, which leads people to believe that that's the only muscle that was firing. That's not true. It's the only muscle that's being used. The muscular contraction, the glucose is being used from that muscle, and it's being worked. Yes, it's being fatigued, but the rest of your body's contracted at the same time, which is what causes that growth hormone release that I don't think people really realize happens. So hopefully this is a learning experience for you guys. It's something that I had to learn through trial and error, and I had to fucking waste a lot of time trying to isolate things. And, your body is going to grow the way it's going to grow. Every single one of these pro bodybuilders and these top genetic freaks, when they got to the biggest size they were, they still had the same weak body parts that they had when they were fucking smaller. It's the same exact look with more muscle on their frame, and that never changed. You don't think that if these guys, the genetic elite, could fucking change the muscles that they, at will by just fucking training and isolating them, you don't think they'd be able to do that? Instead they use Nutalil and acetylene, whatever the fuck it was, and Synthol. They had to use that stuff to change their bodies because the training didn't work. So if they couldn't do it, I'm sorry, you can't do it. BioStrengthTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostrength.com is a blog. This was not isolated to make that bicep. Here we go. And we're out.